So the next type of integral we are interested in is integrals where we can do trigonometric substitution to simplify and integrate it. So suppose you want to integrate square root of a square minus x square, right? So now if you integrate this guy from minus a to a, you will see that that's the area under the curve, right? And that seems to be what? That is basically, so this is the area, this is a circle of radius what? A. So this area is going to be pi a square divided by 2, right? So let's see, is it really the case? Okay. So we'll do this problem here to find out exactly is it true or not. But before that, let's see what kind of substitution we should do. So if you have a square minus u square, you do the substitution u equals to a sine theta, and then convert 1 minus sine square theta as cos square theta. So the idea is if you use a square minus a sine theta square, you can take a square common, you get 1 minus sine square theta. And using this substitution, you get a square cos square theta. So there is some kind of simplification happening there. Similarly, if you have a square plus u square, then you will use u equals to a tan theta. And then you use, this becomes what? A square plus a square tan square theta. If you take a square common, you get 1 plus tan square theta. And 1 plus tan square theta is secant square theta. So this simplifies to a square secant square theta. Similarly, if you have u square minus a square, then you use u equals to a secant theta. Why is that? Because you get a square secant square theta minus a square. Take a square common, you get secant square theta minus 1. And then secant square theta minus 1 is tan square theta, so it simplifies. Now one may ask the question, why use a sine theta? Why not a cos theta? Well, you can use a cos theta as well. Similarly here, you can use a cotangent theta as well. And here you can use a cosecant theta as well. But these are the easier ones, so whichever one. Okay. So let's integrate the following. Integral of 1 minus x square, assuming absolute value of x is less than 1. So which one shall we use? So you see that it is a form here. So let x equals to a sine theta. This implies dx becomes a cos theta d theta. In this case, your a is 1, so we'll use 1, 1. Now let's see what happens to our integral. So integral 1 minus x square dx converts to square root of 1 minus x is a sine square theta, and instead of dx I'll write cos theta d theta. So we'll get integration of 1 minus sine square theta is cos square theta, square root of cos square theta is cos theta. So cos theta times cos theta d theta. This is going to be cos square theta, which is 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by. So we get this is same as, what is 1 plus cos 2 theta? So integral is going to be x. So 1 by 2 outside. X plus integration of cos 2 theta is what? Sine 2 theta divided by 2 plus c. Now the integral is done, but we need to find out, we need to put everything back in terms of x. So for that, notice that what is the connection of theta with x? The connection is x is sine theta. So from there, I get what? This implies x sine inverse x equals to theta, right? So this becomes half x plus sine 2 theta is going to be sine 2 theta divided by 2 is going to be sine theta times My bad. This is theta, right? Nobody corrected me. Theta, sine theta, cos theta plus c. Now, so let's see the following triangle. Now, if this angle is theta, we have sine theta as x, so x over 1, right? Sine theta is opposite side upon hypotenuse. So this side is going to be, using Pythagoras theorem, this side is going to be 1 minus x squared, right? So we get half theta is sine inverse of x plus sine theta is x, so I get x. Now what is my cos theta here? Cos theta is adjacent side over hypotenuse, which is 1. So this is going to be 1 minus x squared plus c. So let x be tan, so we should write it as follows. So we can write it as 1 by integral of 1 by, take 4 common, so we get 1 by 4 square, which is 16 out, and in bracket we have what? X square plus 9 by 4 dx. So let x be what? 3 by 2 tan theta. So this will become dx equals to 3 by 2 secant square theta d theta, and your inside will become what? Inside will become x square plus 9 by 4, so it will become 9 by 4. So x square plus 9 by 4 will become 9 by 4 tan square theta plus 1, which is going to become what? 9 by 4 secant square theta. So how does the integral evolves? We have 1 by 6. Let's call this as I. So I equals to 1 over 6 integral of, now what do I have in the denominator? It simplifies to 9 by 4 secant square theta, the whole square. And on numerator, I have 3 by 2 secant square theta d theta. So this is going to be, so this 4 and this 16 will cancel. So what is left out? So we have 3 by 2 coming from top. We have this 4 taken care of, but we have this 9 square, which is going to be 81. Integral of secant square theta, 1 secant square theta will cancel. You will have cos square theta d theta, because 1 by secant theta is cos theta. So we get 1 by 27. So this will be 27 when you cancel, and multiplied by 2 makes it 54. And here you will use double angle formula. So 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2 d theta. So this becomes 108. Integration of 1 is theta. Integration of this is going to be sine 2 theta divided by 2 plus c. So integration done. Now we need to convert everything back. So for that, again, we can use triangle, or you can do it algebraically as well, okay? So I will use the triangle. So here again, theta is, so we have x equals to tan theta, or we get tan theta is what? So tan theta, let me write it here. Tan theta is 2x by 3. So tan theta, if this angle is theta, the opposite side can be taken 2x and the adjacent side can be taken 3. And if you use Pythagoras theorem, this is going to be square of this plus square of this square root. So 4x squared plus 9. So this is going to be 108. Theta is now, what is your theta? Theta is 2x by 3. So from here also you can get theta equals to tan inverse of 2x by 3. So you get tan inverse of 2x by 3 plus, now this is same as sine theta cos theta. What is sine theta? Opposite side, opposite side upon hypotenuse. So 2x divided by 4x squared plus 9. What is cos theta? Adjacent side divided by hypotenuse. 9 plus. Yeah, if you want to simplify this, you can multiply. Otherwise, this is good enough. Now let's move on to the next problem. So x equals to, so we want to integrate this guy. Now we have what form? We have x squared minus a squared, right? So in this case, we'll take x equals to 5 secant theta. So therefore, dx becomes 5 secant theta tan theta d theta. And then the integral turns into, so let me call this integral I. So I becomes square root of x squared minus a squared. So square root of, so what do we get? So x squared minus 5 squared becomes 5 squared secant square theta minus 5 square, which will be 5 square taken out, secant square theta minus 1, which is going to be 5 square tan square theta, right? So this can be simplified as square root of 5 square tan square theta divided by x, which is secant theta, multiplied by what? 5 secant theta tan theta d theta. So x is 5 secant theta, so there has to be 5 here as well. So now these two guys will cancel out, right? So what do we have? So we have, this is going to be 5 tan square theta d theta. Now phi is a constant, comes out, tan square theta integral is what? So again, you have to convert it into secant square theta minus 1 d theta. So now integration of secant theta is, secant square theta is known, which is what? Tan theta. Integration of 1 is theta plus c. Now this is going to be 5. We need to convert secant theta. X is 5 secant theta. From there, I need tan theta. Again, we can either do this algebraically or draw a triangle, right? So let's just look at this. So again, I'll draw the triangle. So if my secant theta is what? So I have theta is here. Secant theta is, so I have what? X by 5 is secant theta, right? So I get x by 5 equals to secant theta. So secant theta is hypotenuse divided by adjacent side. So this guy is going to be, again using Pythagoras theorem, square root of x squared minus 5 squared. Okay. So then we get tan theta is square root of x squared minus 25. Theta is what? Theta is what? Secant inverse of x by 5 plus c. So this is how this game goes. So we have a circular tank that has the shape of a right circular cylinder with diameter 10. It is placed so that the circular cross sections are vertical. So it means this cross section what is your cross section? Your cross section is this part here, right? So this is your cross section. Yeah. So you want the circular cross section to be vertical. So therefore, this is what it means by circular cross section is vertical. Okay. So this is how the tank is placed. Now the radius is going to be 5 because the diameter is, so radius of this tank is going to be, this radius is 5. Okay. Now it is placed, if the depth of the water is 7 feet, what percentage of the total capacity is being used? So the depth of the water is 7 feet. So you will have that 2 more, right? So this is 2, and the depth of the water is, so the height of the cylinder, this is not known to us, right? So we want to find out how much the water is filled. So what we'll do is for each cross section, we will find out. So area of water in the cross section. So how does the cross section looks like? So cross section is a circle. So if you look at the cross section, this is how the cross section looks like. Okay. So this is your cross section, and the idea is the water is, so this is the center, this is 5, and the water is filled, this is 2, and then the water is filled until here. So what we'll do is the following. We will basically, instead of counting the cross section, so instead of seeing how much the water is there, so the total area of the cross section is going to be what? So the radius is 5, so the total area of circle is what? Is pi times 5 square. Yeah. So what is the area? So what we'll do is the following. We'll find out the total area, which is the whole circle. So total area minus the, so now if we find out minus the empty area, yeah, the white is the empty area. And if you multiply that by h, that will give you what? The volume of water. Okay? This is by Cavalier's principle. So what percentage, also it's asking at what percentage is the total capacity being filled, then the percentage will be percentage of being filled is what is of water filled in the tank is going to be total area, which is what? Pi 5 square minus empty area. So let's call this red area as the empty area, right? So this area is the empty area minus the empty area multiplied by h divided by the total volume of the cylinder, which is going to be this guy, multiplied by 100. So this is what we are looking for. Yeah, makes sense? So this h and this h will cancel, really. So essentially we want to find out the empty area. So what is the empty area? So we want to find out this area. So what we'll do is we will, yeah, exactly. So we'll try to find out this area by doing the following. Let's introduce the origin. So we have origin is, so this is your, Now we want to find out this area. So what is the, first of all, what is the formula for, so we want to basically find out this area. We'll use what? We will use, let's write down what is the formula for this. So formula for this curve is given by phi y equals to square root of phi minus x squared, or depending on this part here, we will write it in terms of x. So we'll have x equals to 25 minus y square square root. And then we'll integrate. So this is 2, this is 5. So we want to find out this empty area. So we'll use the following formula. So the rightmost curve is 25 minus y square square root. The leftmost curve is, this curve is given by 25 minus y square with a minus sign, right? Because x is negative on this side, right? Here the x is negative, here the x is positive. So minus 25 minus y square dy. And what are the limits of integration? The limits of integration are for 2 to 5. Now note that we could have integrated in terms of x as well, but then you would have to find this intersection, right? Intersection of these lines and then work it out. You could have done it that way as well, but doing it in terms of y, at least the limits of integration are straightforward. So this is the empty area. Let me call this as E. So let me call this area as E. So what do we get? E equals to, what do we get? So 2 times 2 to 5 square root of 25 minus y square dy. So let's finish this. So we have square root of 25 minus y square. Let's integrate it first as an indefinite integral, right? So let y be 5 sine theta. This implies dy equals to 5 cosine theta d theta. So what do we get? This integral becomes 5 square root of 5 square minus 5 square sine square theta 5 cos theta d theta. So this becomes so 5 will come out, 5 5s are 25 will come out. You will have sine theta square, 1 minus sine square theta is cos theta, so you'll get cos square theta d theta. That is going to be 25 integral of 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by 2 d theta. So this will become 25 by 2 theta plus sine 2 theta divided by 2 plus c. Well, this is going to be 25 by 2. Theta is sine inverse of what? Y over 5. And we get what? Sine theta. This can be broken as sine theta cos theta. So sine theta is going to be y by 5. Now what is cos theta? So for that we have to draw the triangle. So if this is theta, you have sine theta is y by 5. So this is going to be square root of what? 5, 25 minus y square. So this will be multiplied by square root of 25 minus y square divided by 5. So then your integral is, so what is your E? Your E therefore is 2 times 25 by 2 sine inverse of y by 5 plus y by 5 times 25 minus y square by 5, and limits of integration are from 2 to 5. And then when you can find this, and once you find that, you substitute in here for E and you'll get your answer.